In this video, we are going to take a look at the definitions of these important vocabulary words: constant, coefficient, independent, and dependent. This linear equation has all four of those vocabulary terms, but which is which? Every linear equation has an x and a y, or an input and an output. We learned that the x represented the independent variable, and the y represented the dependent variable. So in the case of this linear function, the x is the independent variable, and the y is the dependent. Now I can plug in any numbers that I want for my input or my independent variable. I could plug in a 2. This term will change, in this case to a 6, but the plus 4 remains the same. It stays constant. I could also plug in a 3, and then this term will now change to a 9, but the plus 4 doesn't change. It stays constant. Even if I plug in a 4, again, this term changes, but the plus 4 remains constant. So that makes this the constant. So going back to our linear function, the number that's being added or subtracted, which we know as our y-intercept, is the constant. The only vocab word we have left is coefficient. In the case of words like coefficient, co-teacher, co-pilot, co-author, and coexist, the prefix co means with. So in the case of our linear function, the number that comes with the independent variable, this 3, is our coefficient. It comes with the x, never alone. So all four of these vocabulary words are all parts of a linear function. Now don't be fooled. We could change the variables in the equation. Perhaps we have the cost of going to an amusement park is $2 per person plus $5 for parking. Even though I've changed the x and the y to a c and a p, I haven't changed what they mean. Just because the y is now a c, it's still the dependent variable. And just because the x is now a p, it's still the dependent variable. Sorry, the independent variable. Which means, of course, the 2 now is the coefficient, and the 5 is the constant.